Welcome to the Champ Show. I'm your host, Isaiah Davis. I'm here with linebacker at Chattanooga, Zion Rutledge, calling in from Chattanooga. Zion, how are we doing?
I'm doing good. Can't complain.
Well, thank you for coming on the podcast. We reached out to Zion on the Instagram, which you guys should go follow the Champ Pod. Make sure you go follow that. And I don't know how long, might have been like 3 or 4 days ago, we reached out to you and we had to get him on really quick.
Yeah, no, it was about 3-4 days ago. It was it was during spring break.
Yeah, and one thing I realized was kind of funny is, we were called the Champ Podcast, but in Zion's Instagram, it says Zion Champ Champ. How did we get the nickname Champ Champ?
So I got the nickname Champ Champ. It was kind of I'm not gonna say it was self-dubbed, but I definitely started calling myself that, and it just kind of caught on. But I got the nickname Champ Champ because I was the first two-time state champion at my high school. So when I won, I just kind of started calling myself, and I said I was going to do it. Before I won, I was like, hey, if I win it again, I'm gonna start calling myself that, and it just started kind of stuck, and so I just kind of I put it on my social media and everything, and it's everyone from, and I just kind of everybody from Hillgrove just kind of not makes fun of the name, but it's just a funny name to go by. You know?
Champ Champ, not Champ, but Champ Champ.
Yeah.
So we did a little bit of research. As you know, we're not the biggest podcast, so we're not perfect on these. So tell us if anything is wrong. You are 6'1", 231 pounds.
6 foot. My height got overestimated a little bit, but yeah, 6 foot, 200 and 230 now.
Okay.
Put on a little weight since I got to college, but yeah, 6 foot, 230.
Gotcha. So we're lying about the height. I see. This is great. So you are a sophomore, correct? So you have not.
I'm about to be a sophomore. Yep, I'm still rounding out my freshman year, still doing freshman classes and all that.
Gotcha. So you're a linebacker. Pretty sure you played at Hillgrove, as you just said, in Powder Springs, Georgia.
Yep.
So Georgia. Now you're at Chattanooga. You have played in 9 games as a freshman at Chattanooga, and little stats here: you have 3 solo tackles, 6 assist tackles. And we reached out to you, and you said you had offers from Penn, Columbia, and Wofford. Any other, I might have forgot to write it down, but any other offers?
Yeah, definitely. I had SC State. I'm pretty Alabama A&M offered me at one point. I had a few more D2 offers. I had Morehouse. I'm pretty sure I had a few more HBCU offers. But yeah, my biggest ones are definitely, obviously Chattanooga. We had the SoCon offers, and then we had the Ivy League offers. So I didn't want to end up going to Ivy League school just because of there weren't any playoffs, So and I just couldn't really see a fit in any of the schools.
Gotcha. So we end up at Chattanooga. Very, very good school. I went there for the state championship, our high school team, Oakland. We've been pretty dominant through the past, I would say 5-6 years. I mean, ever since I kind of started watching them, they've been to the state championship about, if not every year, every other year. So
yeah, I'm pretty sure you guys ready to get this year. Because I remember there were a few teams playing up there when we went to where did we go? We went to Alabama to play. There were a few teams playing up there from high school.
Yeah, Oakland Patriots. I think they lost to Team Houston, which apparently is on the rise as a top high school, at least in Tennessee, I think. So in terms of athletics, so I didn't know this. You were the Daily Journal athlete for the Marietta Journal, I guess, Player of the Year as a junior in high school.
Yep. I was the athlete of the year. I led the state. I led 7A in Georgia in tackles, and and also that was the first year I won the state championship. And so I won athlete of the year. That was a pretty good milestone for me. That was a pretty good big accomplishment for me.
For sure. You won that in 2022.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then you won it again the next year. So So you went from champ, then the champ in 2023,
Yeah,
and you
yeah.
actually you
Those
go
are
ahead.
pretty good accomplishments for me. It was definitely my junior year was definitely a stepping stone in my career because before that I hadn't really didn't start on varsity, didn't really do much. But I was always wanting to make a big statement in Hillgrove, but until my junior year I wasn't really able to. So that was a big year for me.
And I think you've made your statement because, according to my research, you hold the record for most pins at Hillgrove.
Yeah. I don't remember how many it was. I think it was 30 something, but yeah, I have the most pins. I have the most pins in a single season. So yeah, that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool to get.
And you were the first African American wrestler to win state for the Hawks. So that was a big milestone as well.
Yep, definitely.
So,
I was just happy to be up there with just great names, Connor Powell, and all of his brothers, and then Connor Cooper, one of the guys that I train with. It's just good to be kind of at that round table.
so a lot of good memories from high school I'm hearing, and especially with wrestling. And it's not just football that you're really good at wrestling. Really, really good. Obviously, we just read out the stats. It's kind of funny. Whenever you had posted us on your story, I think like in the matter of 2 minutes, this is the first time we've ever had anything. And now it wasn't huge, but it was huge for us. We start getting all these likes on the same post. I think it's at like 200 and like something likes. And I was looking at all the likes, and it's all wrestling players. And I'm like, what? Okay. I mean, I'm not complaining. And then I finally, once I was like, okay, that's why. That's why we're getting all these wrestling players liking our posts.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I definitely have a lot of wrestling supporters from back home, just because it's an individual sport. So I feel as if in wrestling you build a lot more relationships than football, just because it's a lot harder to identify the football player,
Mm-hmm.
just because it's a team sport. But yeah, no, I definitely have a lot of support from wrestling when it comes from Hillgrove. We got a guy coming from Harrison that I was pretty good friends with, Landon. He's going to be great when he gets up here. He's going to be a wrestler up here. So he was wrestling at Harrison. He just won his first state title. So yeah, no, I got a few guys that are big supporters when it comes to wrestling.
Speaking of committing to Chattanooga, what led you to choose the University of Chattanooga over NC State, Alabama A&M, all those other schools?
It was definitely just the authenticity of it. You could definitely tell the coaches actually cared about their players a lot more than the other schools. Um, it was not too far from home. That was a big factor. I definitely wanted to not be right next to home to where I could just go home every day and just say what's up to, because I feel like I needed to distance myself from all that. But I definitely wanted to be able to, if I need to go see mom and, get my laundry done, I wanted to be able to, take that drive. But
Yeah.
that it's a great city. Love Chattanooga. It's come really far from where it was. Not a lot of people actually know this, but my dad actually grew up in Chattanooga. He grew up on the East Side Projects.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, grew up not about 10 minutes away from where my dorm is, actually. And most of his side of the family is still here. So, I can go see them if I wanted to. But now we live in Marietta. But, I have a lot of family, a lot of roots here. So I definitely just wanted to, not return home, but, felt like home, felt like a second home.
Yeah.
Definitely. And it was just a good history. Obviously, I'm trying to make it to the league. And Chattanooga, they have a rich history of sending people to the league. We just had Cole Strange. We've had a linebacker go to the league out of here. We've had a few people. We just had McClendon Curtis. He signed with the Raiders, and now he's with the Seahawks. I might have got that order wrong, but yeah, he's with the Seahawks now. but we have a rich history of sending people to the league and getting people to that next level. Not to mention the linebackers that came before me were just they're great players, absolute dogs. So I definitely saw that I could succeed here. So those are also some big factors.
Yeah, I don't have the best of memories in Chattanooga. I went when I was like probably like 5 or 6, I don't know, and we stayed on like one of those trains you can stay overnight, and we were, we were like checking out, and we're walking out the door, and you know how they have those, huge doors inside trains, and I'm walking out, and I'm kind of sliding my finger up against like I don't know what to call it, the door almost where the door lands. I can't think of the name. And my sister just lets go of the door, and my finger got stuck in the train door,
Oh
and
man.
we just had to yank it out because we didn't have the key.
Oh man.
So definitely not the best of. Other than going to winning state championships with our high school, that's definitely some good memories from Chattanooga.
Not the best memory of Chattanooga, but
Mm,
there's some other ones you can make here.
yeah, we're definitely gonna have to go see a Chattanooga game for sure. I want to go whenever you guys play. Gosh, what you called? UNA. We got some people over there who play that's been on the podcast, TJ Smith and Ben Harris. They're both quarterbacks, so we're definitely got to go see that game if we
Oh,
can.
okay. Yeah, no, definitely, man. We've got a pretty rough schedule this year. This is probably the hardest schedule we've ever stacked up, but it will definitely challenge the team, and I'm ready for it. And I think the team's ready for it. We just need some. We've got one of those teams. You can tell everybody's just hungry. Everybody's just ready to prove themselves. So I'm glad we stacked together the schedule we have.
Speaking of schedule, what do you think is going to be the most difficult game you have on your guys' schedule?
Oof. Um, it's hard to call it early, but I couldn't tell you what the most difficult challenge will be. But I can tell you one of the games that we're gonna have to definitely lock in for is Austin P.
The
Just because
Govs.
yeah, we went over there. It was a rough game, tough game. Ended it with pretty sure it was a kickoff. Yeah, we won it with the kickoff. It was a tough game. They played a really good game. But we're definitely gonna have to keep our heads down and work for that one. Because they're definitely going to be looking for some. They're definitely going to be looking to win a football game. But that's one of the ones that when I looked at the schedule, I was like, "Ooh, that'll be fun."
For sure. So, what got you started playing football in the first grade, if I'm correct? What kind of, I guess, jump started you into playing football?
Well, my dad. When it comes to sports, my dad's basically been the motivation for everything. Um, but when I was a kid, I really just played around. I didn't really how kids are. You just playing sports just to play them. I
Yeah.
just didn't really catch a love for it until my dad catch a love for anything until my dad put me on the North Henry Tigers. We were pretty good. We were a pretty good team. We went to a bunch of born to compete. Went to a bunch of born to compete tournaments. I couldn't tell you the exact rankings and everything, but I'm quite sure, and I could be wrong, but I'm quite sure we were one of the best youth teams in Georgia, definitely. But the Atlanta Vikings got it though. They definitely got it. The Atlanta Ducks, that's what they were called. They definitely got that. um, but yeah, nah. He got me into it, and he really just helped me discover my work ethic. He helped me discover, like, I love this. And, I started telling him, I was like, man, I really love football. I love to play. And he sat me down. He was like, look, I'm gonna be honest with you. It's not an easy road. Anything in this world, if you're gonna have it, you got to work for it. So
hmm
um, he just told me, if you're gonna do it, you got to do it. And so he'd take me out. He'd make me run. I don't know how many miles he made me run, but he said, if you're gonna do this, you got to do it right. And so he definitely helped me establish my work ethic until he didn't have to do it anymore. I would wake up myself. I'd go, run my miles, get some cones, do some cone drills, and falling in love with weightlifting. That's always been a big part of my life. My dad taught me how to lift weights. Um, but yeah, he just was a big stepping stone when it comes to me athletically.
Sounds like you have a pretty awesome dad, is what it sounds like.
Yeah, nah, he's great. He's great. I
So,
go to him for everything. Love you, pops, if you're listening to this.
yeah, hey, we might have to get Pops on the show. Why number 42?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I've never really cared about numbers. Never really cared about numbers all that much. I mean, if I had to pick a number, it'd probably be 52. To be honest, because of Ray Lewis, he's definitely one of my icons.
Oh, yeah.
Um, Before games, if you look up Ray Lewis in YouTube on the YouTube, it's a highlight tape basically, and it's like the NFL's depiction of Ray Lewis's career, and it's probably got like something million views. I promise you, I'm like 2 million of those views because I've watched that video at least 2 million times. I watch it before every game. It's kind of like a pregame ritual. But it just his mentality is something I strive to reach every day. Um, I watched his um, I watched his documentary on why he picked the number 52. He's 52 cards in the deck, and that's what he used to help him
Yeah.
build a base for football. To help defend his mother from his stepdad. Ray Lewis has just been a big icon when it comes to sports. Just always kind of wanted to kind of personalize him in my gameplay. You know, but at the same time, though, like I said, I've never really cared about numbers. My biggest thing is give me a helmet and shoulder pads. Let me go play. Just let me go hit something.
Gotcha. So we had another question that we were going to do is, who do you model your game after? I'm pretty sure you probably model it after Ray Lewis is what it sounds like.
Yeah, definitely try to be Ray Lewis. Another player I like is Cam Chancellor. He's
Oh,
definitely
yeah.
Cam Chancellor. Yeah, Bam Bam. He was a fun one to watch. He was definitely fun to watch. That dude was a freak of nature. He's a good guy, and he just personified the meaning of a football player, in my opinion.
Yeah, so I don't know if I'm being read false information, but you also played running back in high school. Is that correct?
Yeah, for a little bit, not much. My freshman year, and then they tried me here sophomore year a little bit. Personally, I think I could have been a good running back. I think I could have been a pretty decent running back if I had, spent more time, developing the craft. But my freshman year, I played it, and I was better at linebacker, obviously. And then I got to varsity, and I specifically remember one of my coaches. I think his name was Coach Mosin. He was like, "You're not a running back. You're a linebacker." Like, why do you think that? He was like, "Because when you have the ball, you're supposed to run away from people. You look at people and run towards them. That's not what running backs supposed to do." So, yeah, he put me a linebacker. We like to play running back, but I think if I played running back, my height would be a lot less of an issue because definitely people are looking for those 6'2", 6'3" linebackers nowadays. But it never really bothered me though. I've never missed a play where I was like, man, if I was 6'3", I would have hit that and would have made that. But yeah, nah, played a little bit of running back, not much.
So what I'm hearing is, if I'm 5'6", I don't play linebacker.
You could. Hey, you could. Our coach here, he doesn't care about height. And that's one of the main reasons and that's another reason why I ended up going here. Our coach here, Coach Yeager, he's great coach. He doesn't care about height. And to him, a dog's a dog. So you wanted to play linebacker, man. Get into it.
I got the connection right now. We're on our way to Chattanooga. We're about to go on the visit.
100%.
Yeah, I played linebacker one time in practice when I played on Oakland's middle school team, and this was like 6th grade. I hadn't even passed like the 5-foot mark, okay? And I was just trying to just like at the end of the season, I realized, well, if I get more reps in practice, I'll be able to show like quote unquote how good I am and maybe get on varsity like in 8th grade or whatnot. And all I remember is I looked left, I looked right, and then looked left, and then when I came back, I just saw a helmet coming towards me, and I got popped, and
Yeah.
e never played linebacker again, so lot of respect for Zion playing linebacker.
Linebacker, running back, you gotta be physical. That's one thing you gotta be.
So you talked about a lot of favorite teammates in wrestling. What about football? You can also talk about college football teammates, high school football teammates. What were some of your favorite teammates?
I loved all my guys. Benjamin Galloway, he's at Georgia Tech now. Loved him. Tyler Green, that's my dog for life. One of the guys I still talk to, just went on vacation with actually, Cameron Jones. He was a cornerback. That's my blood brother right there, man. That's my that's my dog. But yeah, no, I loved all my guys, man. Evan Pruitt, he was one from we played from middle school all the way up. He was a dog. He's at UAB now. Kyle McKinney, he was great. He was a pretty good player. He's a freshman at UAB now. I might be missing a few folks.
Can't get
But
them all.
shout out to Mark. Mark was cool. But I'm definitely missing a few folks. But I loved all my dogs. Knox, that's the last one I give it out. Knox. Knox is great. He's at Lenore Ryan. He had a pretty good season at Lenore Ryan freshman year. So I loved all my dogs. We had a good relationship as a team.
Gotcha. And I know you mentioned some of your coaches in high school, I think, or just mentioned your linebacker coach, I guess. What are some of your favorite coaches that you've had or you have right now?
Um, Coach Keith is my wrestling coach. He was definitely he's probably been one of my biggest mentors. I loved all my coaches and from high school. Coach Wagner, he was great. He taught me a lot. Coach Deshaun, that was our head coach. He's one of the only ones that actually stuck around. We went through three head coaches in 3 years.
Oh my
So
goodness.
yeah, it was rough time. I had to learn three defenses. Had to deal to figure out how to operate with three different staffs. But Coach Deshaun stuck around. So and he helped me, get to Chattanooga. So definitely got a lot of respect for Coach Deshaun. But yeah, Coach Keith, he just I still talk to him to this day. It's just my dog, man. He's always been a friend, and he was actually my football coach and my wrestling coach
Oh,
at one point. Yeah. Coach Keith and Coach Shalinska, my whole wrestling team, the whole wrestling staff. I love all of them. That's my second family. But they've definitely been mentors for me and have taught me a lot, not only about myself, but about just being a man in general. When it comes, one of my favorite memories of high school was my freshman year. And I was saying it the whole year. I was like, I'm gonna win state. I'm gonna win state. I'd be doing conditioning. I'd be repeating it to myself. I'd state champion. And they knew my goal. They knew what I wanted to do.
yeah.
Um, and then I ended up losing at region. So it goes region, sectional, state. So if you lose at region, it's your odds of winning state. People are like, I don't know why you're losing at region if you think you want to win state, but yeah, I ended up losing at region, which devastated me because I hadn't really lost all year.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I had lost all year. I think I lost once that whole year. I was like 40 something to one. But it devastated me. And, I got up and Coach Zelinska texted me. He was like, hey, if you want to change your goal, change it. But our goal is still the same. We're going to make you a state champion. And, I got up and I was like, there's no point in sulking over it. Let's learn from it and let's get better. And so I walked into the wrestling room on Monday, and Coach Saliska, Coach Valentine, Coach Keith was standing in the corner with a big old grin on his face. And all the coaches they looked ready. They looked ready to go. I was like, what's going on? And they said, we sat down and we watched the film from the match you watched. We're going to sit here. We're going to beat you up for 45 minutes until you stop doing what you were doing on that mat. And it worked. It 100% worked. It was the most tiring 45 minutes of my life. And they basically they just rotated in, I wrestled Coach Valentine, which those some big boys and some athletes. I wrestled those two brothers, and they were beating the crap out of me. Then I got to Coach Saleska, and he's just a technical beast. So and Coach Keith obviously was just smiling and laughing in the corner the whole time, enjoying watching his once a freshman not knowing what to do get beat up. Um, but yeah, that whole wrestling family, they've definitely taught me a lot about myself, and I wouldn't be where I am without them. So yeah.
Yeah, for sure. We need a video clip of that. Definitely, we need that.
He probably got one, man. To be honest with you,
if you find it, we want it.
yeah, he probably has one, knowing him.
So, on the topic of high school, how much of a difference do you think the linebacker position is from high school, and now you've played 1 year in college? How much of a difference do you think the high school and college level is at your position?
Physically, I don't really think it was much of a jump. Um, I've always been a pretty strong guy. In the weight room, when I got here as a freshman, I was squatting more than anybody else here. But physically, it wasn't really all that crazy. I didn't really have to change up much physically, but I will say that the biggest part that was a difference, and kind of knocked me for a loop, was the IQ of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Talking to some of the older guys here, they had a different like view of football that I've never seen before. They were talking a different language that I'd known. Like something as simple as a yo. We got a yo back. I didn't know what that was. And once they showed it to me, I was like, oh, okay. I never really thought of him in that way. I just thought it was an extra backer. But the IQ of the game definitely threw me for a loop, and it was something I had to sit down and really study to start understanding and start making the game slow down. But it's a day by day process. Definitely getting better, I'd say.
So you had a few offers. I say a few. You had a lot of offers. What were some of your top college options other than Chattanooga that you were possibly thinking about going to? I mean, obviously, pretty committed to Chattanooga now that you're here, but if you weren't to go to Chattanooga, where would you have ended up, you think?
Um, I think I definitely would have gotten a lot more offers. Just saying, just because of the fact that I committed early, I was a little bit done with the recruiting process, to be honest with
It's
you.
a struggle.
So, it's a struggle. It's taxing mentally, very. So, once I got that offer from Chattanooga, and I saw how great of a place it was and the opportunities I could have here, I was like, yeah, I'm done. This is where I'm going to go. But if I had kept it open, uh, I think I definitely would have had to look at a lot more of the Ivy League schools. University of Pennsylvania, Dartmouth was another one. There was another Ivy League school that offered me. I can't remember which one. But yeah, so I would have definitely had to look at the Ivy League schools. I would have had to look at SC State was a big one. Just the HBCU in general would have been great to go to. Another big one, Lehigh. I would have definitely tried to get a better relationship with the coaches over there, because Lehigh was pretty big on I was pretty big on their radar, and I'm pretty sure they were on the road to giving me an offer until I committed. But and then ETSU was another one. They offered me about a week after I committed. And that's another great school. They're hardworking guys up there. But if I had gotten that offer before I committed to Chattanooga, I probably still would have ended up coming here. Just because I love the city, love the people here. I think the coaching staff is great. So yeah, I would have had more options to go to, but I think Chattanooga was definitely the best. I think I was definitely led here for a reason.
Yeah, you said ETSU. Isn't that Chattanooga's rival?
Yeah. Yeah. They offered me about a week after I committed to Chattanooga. So
And they were like, we can't let this guy go to our rival team. We can't have this.
Yeah.
We can't have this.
So
So at Chattanooga, what does a day or like kind of week in the life of a Chattanooga linebacker look like? Like, I guess how to explain this is like, on Tuesday, 7 a.m. we're going to do this, whatnot.
I mean, it depends on the mode that we're in. We just finished spring ball. Right now is I'm not gonna say a chill. I'm not gonna say it's a chill time, but it's definitely less complicated because all we're doing is lifting. But those lifts are killers. So right now, basically all we have is our 7:30 a.m. lifts, and then our individual coaches will tell us what we need to do. Sometimes we'll have a film session. Sometimes we'll like tomorrow we're going out on the field with our coach for about an hour, 45 minutes. Um, but during spring ball or the season, it's pretty hectic. We'll have uh, 2 days out of the week we'll have morning lifts, and then after morning lifts, you got to get up at about. I'm up at 5 every day. I definitely try to start my day up at 5. Um, but you got morning lifts. After morning lifts, you go to the arena. You get your treatment in. You get your ankles wrapped, all that. Then you go out for practice. Practice is about from 8 to 10. And then after practice, if you deal with classes, you do whatever you got to deal with. And for me, that's usually done around 2, 3. And then usually I try to go back to the arena and either get some more treatment. Well, not either both, but if I don't need any treatment, I'll just go back to the arena and I'll watch some film, watch the day's practice, watch what I can improve on. It's usually like a group thing. Like all the linebackers come back, watch some film. Um, if your body's feeling up to it, I usually try to get back on the field for at least an hour, just get a little moving around and everything. And that's about 2 days a week. And then the other days, you're still practicing, you just don't have the morning lift. But yeah, it's pretty hectic. It's definitely something your body has to adjust to as a football player.
And with college, I mean, you have classes as well added on to that. So
Yeah.
I'm surprised we could even get you on.
Yeah. No, I was a civil engineer last semester, but I ended up changing it. But yeah, it's not an easy major. You're definitely always working. Yeah, they're in the library or you're in the arena or something. Always finding something to do. So
Yeah, definitely no chillax time there.
nah.
So you said your goal is to make it to league. You're always setting these goals. Now let's say, hopefully you do make it to league. I really hope you do. But if you don't, something comes up, whatever I guess God has planned for you. Would you possibly go to like the UFL or like XFL, something like that? You think could be in your future?
Definitely. I just playing football is my goal. And whatever I have to do to play it, I'm cool with it.
Gotcha.
Um, it might not be what I want at the time, but God has funny ways of working. So, if I end up at the USL, XFL, arena football, it is what it is.
Yeah. So Chattanooga, obviously, I would say they're on a slow rise, but they're rising up in terms of prospects and stuff like that. What should we expect from Chattanooga in the new future, like facilities wise, and just where you think they'll be in the next like I guess few years?
Um, I think we'll definitely end up being FBS in the next 5 years. Um, and I was told that from one of my teammates. I'm not a college expert, not a college football expert, but we beat a few FBS teams that we put up a game with a few FBS teams in the past years, and I think definitely last year we beat Kennesaw State. They're FBS now. We'll have Georgia State and Tennessee coming up. Those are definitely be big tests for us, when it comes to whether or not we should be FBS. But
Oh
I
yeah,
think we'll definitely end up being FBS in the next 5 years. Got better facilities coming in. We just added on a new wing to McKenzie Arena. Getting a new locker room. We just opened up a new training room, and it's great. Um, Actually, as as we talk about this, I just came back from the new ice tubs that we just got. Those are
nice.
great. Yeah. But yeah, I think Chattanooga is definitely on the rise. Getting new facilities there's a lot of improvement going on.
So I guess we're kind of getting towards the end of it. We have some rapid fire questions. These are just kind of fun questions. You can answer them really quickly. You can expand on it, whatever you want to do. First one, do you have a favorite NFL team?
No, actually, I'm just one of those guys. I watch football. I want to see some good football. Wasn't mad that the Chiefs won. Didn't really care who won. I like players more than often.
Yeah,
I like specific players, but no, I don't have really an NFL team that I'd lean towards.
gotcha. So I don't know if you said you were a gamer or not, but if you were to play on a console, would it be Xbox or PlayStation?
PlayStation,
Oh my goodness,
absolutely,
man, we're just getting
absolutely,
destroyed. We ask every player Xbox or PlayStation, and Xbox is just getting outnumbered every.
absolutely. If you play Xbox, I consider that a crime. But
Oh
each
whoa,
their own.
whoa, whoa. Hey, I will be honest. If someone was to give me a PS5, I would play. I would play with it. I would definitely. I probably would choose.
It's just a better console, for just being honest.
The graphics are definitely better. Graphics are definitely better.
I
But
guess.
I mean, the thing is, I mean, now you have all this crossplay coming in, but at least now you're not able to play with friends on other consoles and whatnot. So that would be a lot of my friends are Xbox. So I'm guessing once somebody switch over, everybody's gonna switch over. I'm guessing.
I will say though, I play a lot more now that I've been in college, and you have a lot less time to game. I play a lot more Switch now, a Nintendo Switch,
Oh
just because
yeah,
it's easy. It's easy to just load it up and just get a fun little arcade game in, and just head out the door rather than sit down and load everything up. Having to get on an online game waiting for the connection. So
yeah. I mean, if you weren't playing linebacker, what position would you want to play? I think I know the answer, but you answer for us.
uh, I would say running back, but it's like if
Ah,
I were if I were a little faster, I would love to play safety. Honestly,
safety.
yeah, if I were a little faster and more mobile, I would love to play safety. Just because of the fact that like those guys come from 10 yards more often than not, and they just get to crack people. Like you just come in like you'll see our guys Jordan Walker, uh, sorry, Josh Battle. They'll come from 10 yards when they're inserting on the run. If they get a good read, they'll come from 10 yards full speed and just crack their running back. And it just seems so fun sometimes. Or like you see a pass and you read it early, you just get
Pick it
come
off.
from distance. Yeah, just take their head off. So I'd probably say safety, but if not safety, obviously running back. That'd be a fun position to play.
Alrighty. So, favorite college football team besides Chattanooga?
Like I said, I'm not one for picking teams. Uh, I'm not one. I'd say my favorite college football player right now is that cornerback from Kansas. I'm skipping on his name right now.
I have no
It's
idea.
the guy. Yeah, it's the guy that knocked the dude's helmet off. He's a pretty good corner. That one cornerback from Texas, he's pretty nice. That's probably my favorite player right now. So I'll probably have to go with that's my favorite team, Kansas, which is probably a you know probably a controversial opinion, but I'm not one for picking teams though. So
Alrighty, pregame music. Are we listening to it or are we not?
1,000%. I just listen to whatever I like, whatever gets me going. I don't really have a specific artist. Baby Key is cool. Anti Menace is cool. I'm usually listening to more violent stuff, to be honest. But yeah, no, I don't really have a specific artist where I'm like, gotta listen to this guy.
Yeah, we had Trey Llewellyn. He's actually going into the draft this year. He played safety actually at MTSU this past year, and his pregame music was jazz. So we went from jazz to violent music in one in one episode.
Yeah, no, I know a lot of guys that don't even listen to it. We have a linebacker here, Kobe Joseph. He likes to just meditate before, you know. He just
Hmm.
likes to be calm. But me personally, I just like to be hyped up. Just makes the game more fun.
Yeah. So what do you eat before a game? I know you probably get meals from hotels and whatnot, but what are we eating before a game?
Uh, yeah, you're right. Just basically whatever they give us. I try to definitely eat a banana before a game.
Banana.
Yeah, I'm a big cramper. I cramp up real fast.
Oh,
So yeah, So yeah, I try to eat a banana or two sometimes if I've been cramping a bunch during the week. But that's the one thing I can't go into a game without banana.
Yeah, we went to church camp in the fall, and I experienced my first cramp after playing like football for 3 hours straight. Horrible, horrible.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's not fun.
It is.
Not fun at
Felt
all.
it for days. Just it felt
Yeah,
like a stick just in my leg.
yeah, those cramps you get for when you're just sleeping, and all of a sudden you just get woke up. Yeah, those suck.
I
So,
heard from somebody. I don't know if this is the exact ingredients, but if you ever have a cramp in the middle of the night, apparently I don't know if this is the exact thing, but I think it's like pickles and mustard.
yeah, nah, but they're not gonna
You're
make
like,
me
all right, I'll
sleep.
go
So
through the pain.
yeah, nah,
I'll pass on that one.
I'm gonna go through the pain. Yeah, I'll pass on that one. I used to
Anybody
get us
listening?
mustard packets. I used to get us mustard packets in high school, and they still do it in college when you get cramps. They used to say like, "Here, suck on this mustard pack," and I used to hate it. God, I used to hate it so much. I used to like I'd rather go through the pain than do that.
So definitely not a mustard guy. I hate mustard too.
Yeah,
Honey mustard I can do, not mustard.
yeah. Honey mustard, I would be able to stomach that. Regular mustard, I can't
Yeah,
do
just put a little honey in it, you'll be fine.
it.
Artie, favorite stadium you've ever played in? This can be high school through college, whatever. Favorite stadium you've ever played in?
um, see, a lot of people are thinking I'm going to say Alabama, but in terms of atmosphere, it's probably in high school.
Yeah,
We went to Gainesville High School once, and that was a very electrifying atmosphere. It
Florida
was
ball.
weird. Yeah, it was either that or North Alabama. North Alabama, that atmosphere was
Really?
really cool. Yeah, North Alabama has a really cool atmosphere. They got
Gotcha.
this little thing they do with the lights, and during fourth quarter, turn the lights off, and got a spotlight and everything. And the fans are pretty rowdy. So yeah, it's either UNA or Gainesville. Um,
Gotcha.
Alabama was obviously the biggest stadium I played in, but in terms of just the crowd getting loud, and yeah, definitely UNA or Gainesville.
Yeah, Trey Fluellen, he said, I mean everybody's expecting me to say Alabama as well, but I don't know. The atmosphere is what really gets
Yeah,
everybody. It's the atmosphere. It's not the
yeah,
stadium, it's the
definitely.
atmosphere.
Yeah.
For sure. All right, if you could live anywhere in the world, where would you want to live other than Chattanooga and
Um,
Georgia?
I'm in Chattanooga, in Georgia. I was about to say right back in my hometown, man. Two neighborhoods down from my parents. So I can go say what's up to them whenever I wanted. But nah. Anywhere I wanted, probably California or Texas. I've
Texas.
always wanted to. I've always wanted to live out in the West. I don't know. I've never been there or know what it's like to be there, but they seem like cool places. So probably somewhere out there.
Gotcha. All right, this is our final.
I can tell you though I hate the cold. So anywhere that's the other part. I just wanted to be hot.
Yeah, I like the hot too.
Yeah,
It's definitely better than the cold,
can't stand the cold.
especially in football. If I mean, I would take hot all day because if when the ball hits your hands or you get hit, it's a hurts even
Yeah.
more. Already, this is kind of a question we're gonna start doing now. I don't know how many contacts you got, but what is the most famous person in your contacts other than us?
Probably McClendon.
McClendon. All right, who is this?
McClendon Curtis. He was the guy I was talking about earlier. He's the right guard for the Seattle Seahawks. He's the
Gotcha.
right guard for yeah, probably McClendon.
McClendon. All
I'm
right.
definitely probably most famous guy now that I've ever like talked to is Miles Murphy.
Oh.
Yeah, you know who that is?
End.
Yeah, he's a defensive end for the Cincinnati Bengals. I actually played football with him my freshman year.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, yeah. I was a freshman. He was a senior. That guy was a little different. That was a different athlete right there.
Our final rapid fire question, I guess, kind of, we have one little, I guess, tribute question at the end. Favorite food / like place?
Food slash place right now. American wing right now in the corner. You can ask my parents. Man, I've been tearing the wings up. I probably eat about 50 wings a week, man.
Oh my
Those things,
goodness.
those things are good. Those things are good. I've never tasted anything better. Not gonna lie to you.
What type of wings are we getting?
Anything with honey, you get you some honey Cajun, honey garlic pepper, honey lemon pepper, anything with honey. You have you a good night, man.
So we love honey. We love honey.
1000%,
Just not
1000%.
mustard.
Oh no, man, no, no.
Artie, what do you want to say to people listening to the Champ podcast? Not a lot of people, but what would you like to say to anybody kind of listening?
Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you for having me on. Just glad to see some support. But definitely, keep listening in. Listen to a few of these guys' podcasts. It's a good. I like it. It's a good podcast. Great combos. I think that's always I think that's always the best thing you look for from podcasts. Just great combos. But definitely try to tune in more. I know I'll be tuning in a lot more after this.
Hey, if you want to come on ever again, we can definitely get you on. Just shoot us literally a text. We will get you on. Anything. We'll get you on for 5,
1000%,
15
man.
minutes, whatever it is. You want to shout out any socials or anyone in your family, dad, whatever it is?
Shout out to my dad. Shout out to you know, my brothers Cam, Daniel. All those folks I just went on vacation with. Love y'all, man. Love my mama. Wouldn't make here without my mama. I was just talking to her today about how much I miss her. So love you too, mom. Love my sister. My little cousins at home. My whole family. Just love y'all, man. Shout out to y'all, man. And obviously, shout out to the football team. Shout out Nuka, man.
Hey, go Mox.
No Mox, baby.
Alrighty, that is the, I guess, final question of the day. Thank you for coming on so much, Zion. We really appreciate you. Our first Chattanooga player on the podcast. We have a lot.
Yes,
We literally have one coming on in 10 minutes. So, Jamar Jones, we're getting him on. Hopefully, he responds.
Oh, word. My dog Jamar.
And
My dog Jamar.
and then we're gonna get on somebody. I think it might be like a week or two. We're getting Devin Lively on, offensive lineman.
Yeah,
So
he's a dog too.
yeah,
Yeah.
we're just recruiting all Chattanooga players at this point.
Yeah.
And if you know anybody that wants to come on the show, if anybody else listening who wants to come on the show, if you have somebody, have them follow the Instagram, the Champ Pod, and DM us that they want to come on. Alrighty. Thanks so much for coming on, Zion. We really appreciate you. Any final words?
No, man. I'm good. Go Mox, baby.
Hey, go Mox. Thank you guys so much for listening. We the champs. Peace.